A passage from Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye, or A Letter to God by Soaphead Church. I have caused a miracle. I gave her the eyes. I gave her the blue, two blue eyes, cobalt blue, a streak of it right out of your own blue heaven. No one else will see her blue eyes, but she will, and she will live happily ever after. I have found it meet and right so to do. Now you are jealous. You are jealous of me. You see, I too have created, not aboriginally like you, but creation is a heady wine, more for the taster than the brewer. Having therefore imbibed, as it were, of the nectar, I'm not afraid of you, or death, not even of life. And it's all right about Velma, and it's all right about Papa, and it's all right about the Greater and the Lesser Antilles. Quite all right. Quite. With kindest regards, I remain your Elihu Mika Whitcomb. So I chose this passage from The Bluest Eye because when I first read it, I was quite disappointed to find that Soaphead Church, who we hadn't really encountered before and who we weren't well acquainted with, turned out to have such a pivotal role in the novel. But reflecting on it, I realize now that this passage, or that his entire letter, really demonstrates everything that there is to know about him, and also highlights all the underlying themes of internalized racism, self-hatred, and victimhood, and the idealization of whiteness. Soaphead's character also reminds me much of Humbert Humbert from Lolita, which was one of my favorite books that we read this semester. And I'd just like to imagine that the two of them can sit down and play a game of chess together while they detest each other in silence, even though they both have the same secret desire to be with young children and also have sort of a God complex, well, a very apparent God complex. I also find that this passage really embodies my experience with reading The Bluest Eye and other dangerous texts, where my first reaction would be to recoil and not want anything to do with characters like Soaphead, but at the same time I'm dying to know what happens next and how they ended up being this way, and what effect their actions will have on the characters around them. To conclude, Toni Morrison is now one of my favorite authors, and that particular passage has a lot to do with it. I think it's beautifully written. I love The Bluest Eye. That's it.